Welcome to Hominid. If you're new here, this is a channel all about optimizing your potential. And today we're going to be talking about the two things that you need to know to create lasting habits and routines. So let's jump right into it. Okay, so how to create good habits. By the way, I'm a little bit sick today, guys, so just bear with me a little bit. Okay, so quick personal story. I'm about to tell you something that might turn you away from my videos in the future. You might never want to watch me again. You might never want to hear my name again. My name's Ian, by the way. I'm an anime nerd, just plain and simple. I really like anime. I think if you get the right anime, it has really good plot lines, and yeah, I'm a nerd. So now that that's out of the way, I started learning Japanese in high school. I wanted to be able to watch anime in Japanese without having to look at subtitles. But I spent 8 years after learning the beginning stuff, getting a good grasp on like some really beginner words and vocabulary. I spent 8 years stuck at an intermediate Japanese level. I couldn't speak to anybody in Japanese. After 8 years, I still couldn't watch anime in Japanese. And the reason was because I didn't create good enough habits. I would do what's called a 3-day monk, where you just, like, you get really focused on something, but it doesn't last. Because what you need is consistency to really learn things like this. But I'm happy to tell you that I've finally been breaking ground thanks to these two things that I'm about to share with you. But first, let me tell you how you've been lied to. Have you ever heard that it takes 21 days to create a new habit? Well, whoever told you that lied straight to your face, and you should never talk to that person again. Just kidding, but not really. Don't talk to that person. They're just a horrible person. So studies show that it actually takes 66 days to form a new habit. So what I recommend you do, and this is what I do, get a whiteboard, put it on your wall, and write down 66 or 66 days. And then every day that you complete that habit, you just move it down one, 65 days, 64 days, 63 days. And that gives you motivation every time you see that you're on the path to creating that habit. Okay, so the Fogg behavior model. This is a model that was developed by a psychologist named B.J. Fogg for creating lasting habits. Okay, so if you look at this model here, where you want to be is above the action line, where it says triggers succeed here. Optimally, you'd want to be where it says B equals MAT. It says behavior equals motivation, ability, trigger. You don't have to worry about that. We're just looking at what it says at the top here. It says high motivation on the y-axis, and on the x-axis it says easy to do. So what this is basically saying is that in order for a habit to be lasting, you have to have high motivation to do it, and it has to be easy to do. Okay. Making your habits easy. So the first thing, you want to start small. This means breaking your habit down into the most simple unit that you can do. So take, for example, Japanese. That would mean breaking it down to just doing one new word per day. This way, it just makes it super easy to do, and you're not going to have that procrastination when it's easy to do. The other thing is, don't start more than 2 new habits at a time, because you're just making it hard on yourself. If you're starting 3 or 4 habits at a time, you're just going to overwhelm yourself. Also, you want to have a morning or nighttime routine to get momentum in doing the habit every day. So if you just decide to do the habit like sometime during, say, the evening or the middle of the day, you don't have that context of this is when I do the habit. And so you're going to end up procrastinating. It's as simple as that. For example, when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do after I turn off my alarm clock is, well, I pee. And we're going to talk about that next, but I do a quick yoga routine, and I go straight into reviewing Japanese flashcards. So it's just, I'm used to doing it, and I don't have to make decisions, which is the next thing we're going to be talking about. You want to make doing the habit as convenient as possible. So you don't want to make a lot of decisions. For example, when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is I go pee. And I think a lot of people do that. I don't think I'm the only one. So what I do is I take my yoga mat and I put it on top of the toilet seat so that I have to actually pick up the yoga mat to go pee. And then after I'm done peeing, the yoga mat's already in my hand. So it just makes it really easy to put it down and do yoga. Obviously not in the bathroom though. So here's the second thing, motivation. What I like to do is on my whiteboard, I like to write out a reason for why I want to do the habit. What is the outcome that I'm looking for? And I do this, I write down a new reason every week. So it keeps it fresh and it really keeps me motivated because I look at it during the day. Often people recommend to be accountable to someone. This has never worked for me, but you can like make bets with people, like for example, if you're going to the gym, so you make a bet with one of your friends that if you don't go to the gym, they'll win the bet and they'll take your money. And so that makes you accountable to do that thing. Another thing is that actually has worked for me, and this is kind of a weird thing, I admit, it's aversion therapy, or basically what it is negative feedback. Now you can buy expensive, fancy tools for this, like the Pavlok, which is like a wristband that shocks you. But you don't have, it's totally unnecessary, and I don't recommend it. What I recommend is you get just a plain rubber band and you put it around your wrist. And when you're procrastinating on doing your habit, or you forget to do your habit or whatever, you want to snap the rubber band a few times. And this gives you negative feedback. And your brain will process this and link it to the action of not doing the habit. And so you'll actually start to avoid not doing the habit, which makes you do the habit. And there's a lot of scientific research to back this. People might think you're weird, but really you need to stop giving a fuck what people think of you. So, yeah. And that's it. So I hope you found this information helpful. And I recommend that you subscribe because we're going to be having more videos like this in the future. And leave a like because that's how YouTube likes us. If you leave a like, then they'll show my video to more people. And I like that and you should like that. So yeah, just do it. Thanks.